is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Abusema munyina kwa be. Aha e Boadu TV so. Na Chief Justice suspended Gertrude Araba Torkonu. Wa friends and chofo si mumetie ade ndisi fo ye me mumetie de omaya momra mumetie wa cheche ninsem mami aso ya kasa dodo but wa cheche ninsem mu se onye boni bia ndisi fo no mpeso mutu ni fi akonya no so ene ya mama no timi sa akono ho se imagine se why boss akosoro sa na all of a sudden you say ye yi wutu akonya o san ba be shi obiase eya pa okasa wie e penalist o ne otu da ko se he madam twensa gina ho asama o ken die entronko a Felix Fusu kwa chekura be kan se azama Torkonu kanu entronko a ejena no dey ne ye die bi.
I just want to say, sir, on mine, we have to be serious. Chief Justice on Semi. Chief Justice on Semi. The difference in the creation of law. But on your gun and in Semi. Ontimin popuna ni mame sunchre Ghana for ya traho. Ya chire school, your friend appeal to pity. Uhunu ni eba. Mwasha dake kawe ni mesu. Anyi bia Ghana for ebisu bia boa obi anim nyansa sese ya enti maame se na wadwen ye wo se wo be kan borofo asu a kire yen na Ghana for abeka bia ma wa Listowel onye committee member otu Darko menya committee member. But you see, the story always favors the narrator. Enti potoka se mo say until the day the lions learn to tell their own side of the story of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. It is semi walking and a committee no jumane Canada and can you understand? I want to state here and now say mama who said she's always carried away by emotions. Wow, to baby. Asamwa yenye. Asamwa committee teso. What gave you the power? Sabra bonting. Me offer. I didn't want to have a mechanic from. Who can we say being a judge in your own what offer cannot pay the cannot payment to come also.
Nemo Judas in Cosa Sua.
Engineer Fakan. Say me repeat the obwa. But meet my trust. Nene say you can't be a judge on your own case. What she did now, she's been a judge on her own case. As you actually the crampo for contempt, and I know I've had to committee. How can you preempt the committee? Say near Quadia, Osha, what for preemptive committee? No, me na me yanka. Yes, be the contempt of BB. Et me saying who say only a Chief Justice of the nation. We are suspended Chief Justice of the nation. You will active Chief Justice of the nation. Yeah, over a friend's Bonnie. Of house when you're doing
impersonation.
Impersonation?
Yes, she's not a Chief Justice.
But also she's the Chief Justice.
She's impersonating. It's a criminal offense to impersonate.
It's one crime we must charge her on criminality.
Yes.
We must charge her on criminality. Over Odie, me na me can be say. Yemfa brofu yo kani nyina nto nchen enu nto no fa ha ona wet ma church mu. No mind the cardinal sense of Torkonu. But si edni nyina to nchen a Article 146 no ehefa na Mahama Council of States and that committee na form. The Article 146 is clear. Some petition kosa when it involve a normal justice, the petition will come to you as a Chief Justice. Now why am panel? When it involve a Chief Justice, committee no call I can't say petition no call President Hua in consultation with the Council of States. Later a committee will be formed. Under provision 10 of that very article was it the President may, which is discretionary, suspend you. And in line with Article 146, we know who here some law school and common sense. Actually, the president has what the Emrana Juma. And over how can she say like Ninkoba winning na yes you know. Preempting the position of the committee. Committee, why not obey you? Assembly and ye. And it will confirm by your demeanor, say indeed, what the bonny be, it will be you. It's you what Ghana for who say, and same be saying to me ye war, because committee will be anchor say ye be you, being part, committee never support you, and you'll be reinstated. It one hot grams na mami Torkonu, who didn't say be you, a dear no winning my enemy. Oh, in Kutreti no necessary that ya. Oh, Akukutre.
Really, a Kukutre, no worry.
Necessary that. Anyways, live on Accra 100.5 FM. Mami joining Grandma of an Poku Listowel. Na umyebim. But what I can say, following your mami can say, me pass a bit to be a fundamental human rights. So, anyways, but to say yes, today. Me say that the tuition who I you. Say we Chief Justice me say they say like how. Now me say me. Are you a more Ghanaian than me? Madam Chief Justice. What go men say we are. Please, do your small corner. My committee ni nyene djuma me say before. You can cry blood. The law is the law. Ava, kejegu.
Mami emfa kwanya we so na menchia tifo na menchia ahwefo nso menchia yadofo ni atamfo nyina na ohene ba na utuda ko memo waba so nso ne dwuma so a wodi ebo a my Ghana
afa bebre nim se me ohene ba
o ye ohene ba
oh
na sebi enye se ohene ba se wo papa ti ase enko
abi
o ye ohene eba
kwa me wate
se o papa ye ohene a
I have from a prince
onye ohin ketwa sebi onye dikru
dabi
we man hene ti
yanko fa
ma me mo abaso so ne adwuma so a wo ye
that's it
na otu lukwenya me animu ni on say I'm very happy the way Ghanaians decided to reason, at least if not for the first time, in this very dispensation, Ghanaians have shown, say, they know between the two, power and law, and they have chosen to follow a partner, a betimia boama ya reset your my way. Na and your mother dana etwemu no mi team biem na and your mother dana etwemu no ebi ensi biem kopim say reset na ura mahama de asi na ni so no ebe wie peye amagana ya fa ye ntoma papa a sebio eye kenten ntoma no efra na I'm one person. I don't respect those who think they have power. No, I respect persons that abide by the laws of the land. Persons that abide by the dictates of the law. No, many omo ena sebi ekon nakrana. Obi a ofi say okura tumi bi the year adwuma no. If you have watched me carefully, most often than not, I make sure say obi a ofi say okura position bi it is our position no man to me bi man the year adwuma bi no. I make them look like fools in my submissions because power has always resided in the hands of the people, and you may be one of the people, but it does not reside with you. Oh, sometimes people misconstrue authority to mean power. What do I say? Yes, there is power in authority, but authority is not power.
So you can have power but you may not have authority.
Yes. And there are people who have authority. They must deny themselves having power because the power always resides with the people.
The people.
What must I say? And until that Omanpenny, sebi, ye two abani we no. Na ko betimi aba bekas one na Ghana Omanpenny by default of the fact that he has won an election. What must I say? Okay. But he had to hold a sword and swear to the people of this country and pronounce, say, he would abide by the dictates of the constitution. And baby, I know Jinano, one said the Speaker of Parliament had convened Parliament and members of Parliament, and to the extent that they are our representatives, they were representing the masses, the 32 million population of this country, you know. They were there in our state. What I say? Because yen timi nka se Ghana fo nyina mu mehia na mo mampani enso afena mu no nso ankyeremo. Even though we could use technology to do that, we still wanted people to represent us so that they will put their signatures to his swearing in, no, to make him now hold that, your friend is saying, sacred office, no, and hold that authority, no, and not the power.
Okay.
What do I say? Okay. So there be a catch nipa say.
Over so there's a power and the way they unyada.
No, you don't have the power. Nobody has the power.
Maybe not power and your authority.
We give you the authority.
Very well.
To act in our state. So, for example, law. Emma Obi she kasano and Emma and Chiremuno eye to say eye pe. Okay. Say me ma to me. Yeah. Say yade mami. Into to me no. Authority any power nyina no.
Ye friend to me.
Ye friend to me nti no. And ama for adwen ye omo say. Yeah. To me ni authority no. But authority no say wo dey ba the verb a year authorize. So it means say enya wo pe o obi na ma wo.
And now you bet make say power ne e ahoden.
Yes.
Ana the other one authority ne to me.
Okay.
Ana power ne to me.
Ana me na mintimi ntitwi kasa ne ye dia. What na say power no. Because as a twi kasa no
it's not developed as
it's not as very well. So but not, I mean if you are very technical entino amanfo adwene ye omo say ebi a omampani kura no okura tumi bi a ebro omanfo tumi so there omampani ni mpo na ono no ye ekura the executive your friend is saying authority no in some instances no krampo no your friend power no
okay
due to how akwai say ye cd to him say afi ono na mfam toto neoma no. But you see, so we are very technical we are very technical nipa bi no mu a omo di tumi yeah eye authority yeah eye de omanfo de afem wo mo
yeah
omo adwe ye omo say omo momu no ebetimi atrɛ omanfo sebre till na omo re fi say sebre na all tiremu amana kwa wie say wasese omanfo sebre no ono ni re fi say wo ka ho anu tira mpanifo tabu baby say owe ofo nsa e ya hwewo de ni nsa num ehia sekan wonso wonsa num ehia sekan enti se wokɔ na sese bi wokokum aboafo na owe ni namo a ni aka che wo se hwewo de. Now to the substantive case edayenim, who is talking in the first place adia me observe ye ewo ne poster or the bar bonten say enavie obeye press conference no
any that to say
sa poster no by any stretch of imagination no she is impersonating say oye
Chief Justice. Enti Mbachonia ye reckon was me ye dia to or say Chief Justice Gertrude Torkonu speaks.
Onye Chief Justice Ghana nye Chief Justice no
Onye Chief Justice
Debbie say we ye posini na ye ma interdiction say kotena fie wabra ye hwehwe wo nsemu a untimi nkwa bontin koka say oye posini still wabra ye hwehwe wo nsemu
dabi wodo waka ni bi ansa
ye wo ade bi abroni frɛ no adjective so by describing who you are no ebi abekisima ka say me ye suspended chief justice because that is what you are
because you wedi
you are not sacked
but you are suspended
yes you may be thinking say whatever wakeka medru ho
yeah
but idea was say so trim say who you are as defined in the public space must be the reason why I was say oh yeah entino quickly
I am confused here when a year one no year now na year
we mean am year
and the enchire mu say we a list because already no waka say one what trust say we chief justice we hwe we obeka say na boy
e na me be
ti we there
we me na Poku me hu say
me je ho fa
ma me no aye ade aye niamo ho no
okay
na me tro to sro kakraka say
o correct no boa
ontimi ma me deceive public say
we chief justice
or your chief justice
okay
chief justice Torkonu speaks your chief justice your suspended chief justice
yeah
you're suspended until she cannot be holding herself as though on chief justice Ghana how you were an acting chief justice in a very high personality of Paul Bafuboni.
Into your chief justice.
The most competent. And Ghana, our chief justice are all acting.
Okay.
Onumpono, Onko about to throw his weight about to say, Onune chief justice. Tio, were you so a very descriptive word all through? We have documents as they say, Okokota, the Biba Benina. What Tremu say, me acting chief justice. And it's an so pa kobeti me deceive public say just because o man pani man to me say onyina Ghana for nyina nam as chief justice nimpo wabra or acting no kobeti me aka say me chief justice
yeah wait me so chief justice
legally so and kobeti me a defend say after all me ye adwuma no as chief justice as me ka say chief justice as like
yeah. What yes, yeah.
And untina oya ni atro age acting.
Yeah.
Okay. Now who na ye ye to asen no. Te say obi okọ Pentecost. Ya born asen. Yi de ni de wo say ba so.
So no anu fun.
Oh, no. She's misbehaving in public.
Afanana ni oye.
The oye total misbehavior.
Misdemeanor.
It's a highly intolerable behavior. And that can even account for her sack.
Oh, the money I can in
the behavior she has put out today is a total misbehavior that must be punished. It's punishable by law. Because one, everything that is governed around her removal or otherwise, and you're governed by the laws of the land. The law is superior to any individual. That is why I began my description of power and law, where power is being misconstrued with another adjective of authority. What am I saying? Now, that said, to the substantive and Samuel Walker.
Before you go to substantive, let's recognize
yes.
Solomon.
Senior.
Akwaba.
Senior Kwane ni chi. Emu du. Ote ya ose ya kronto.
And the senior in church him.
Oh,
to the very substantive. A dear Sam Naba. Menua. Ewiase. De bia unamwa. Ubia wutie me. So ye penny so ya kwala. Se sebi. Uni nyansa na sebi wadwiri mu ha obi a wutie mi bia e wo se odi hye utiri mu se entatia ne kum so no entatia
ene kum so
ne ba me kura me nka ono amu ne ba ene kum so no na obia wakan wosono ne ntatia story a sabi o yede aye literature manfo de aye poetry ne nyoma no enya de kese ne kum ade kese na nka sabi o ewiase yase dadie bi twa dadie When we saw blade da, hacksaw blade.
Yes.
When we say hacksaw blade, no, and then the name of for the aba a year electronic.
The back couldn't be named.
Fadadano. Oh, and no, any iron rods, the hainesso.
Say hacksaw, no, sir. By your rods,
hacksaw, no, iron rods, no, we shall ne Cassia say. Now we shall hacksaw blade, no, ne Cassia, I no.
Of all kind of tetanana.
There be hacksaw blade na no na ye di twa no. Ano na saw no side no. Any iron rods. O the iron rods no crampo ketu ewo mu no. Any hacksaw blade no ano no. There hin
iron rod no so.
And so when we say iron rods be atwa hacksaw blade mu da.
There be.
Nyansa na ye di tire wi so. Enye Jimmy. Oh, me Jimmy, I try to let people know, say, don't think yourself a butterfly when you are a bird, when you are a butterfly. What do I say? Manyan sani nye juma abribia.
Yes, a body na bebre.
Body na bre. Say, mami we ojina we to say body na bre pa. Because nyan sani nye juma.
Emotions.
Oh, emra ni yeka. Osunu na, onu no. Na adwene ya ne se oye no. Ya de emra na eye adwuma yo. Emra na eye entatia no.
So no so acheche na emra mu.
Emra na o chechire mu no. Like you said, yes, a superior argument that forms the basis say one kasa wuntimi nye otemuafo wa one kasa wa asemu mu. Because seba se one kasa wu bu wa wasem ho aten a wo mfamra no nya adwuma
de atenka
wo de wo watenka ana afei wo de abegina mra na mu de wo ka bie wa wo mra mu because who appeal to the sympathies of the general public na ye sympathy a ye wo ma wo ewu ye no eyemfie pete pi
achepa
as I say abda wo be chief justice na ye hu say wo famra nya adwuma. And as useless as that, we didn't want to give you any listening ear. Who converting? Me better studio ha. And I me be too for. Now me catch you say, I could follow only certificates. Oh, your lawyer ni fine. Means me in case on your lawyer ni. Na Emma who coin Emma.
Or your lawyer need as well certificate.
There be only certificate, Pacho. Your lawyer for omuko here understudy. Ewa lawyer for fufuru bi ho ono ni papa was certificate but oni bi
o intention
emeyen ko bi emeyen ko oni bi
o de menko
now Ghana Bar Association pe and be legalize and now be license see obi say Kufuor do Ghana ha they say Kofi Asante be there too who busa ne say okọ university the first degree onyan we oni bi enso a lawyer ni we Only be you, and you say, me kadi agro. Only be he has no first degree, only undergrad certificate. Beyond that, but a lawyer. It's only Ghana Bar Association, that useless association that have always made it look in the eyes of the public, you know. And they bet me alliances will be way. So a lawyer.
Association useless.
It's a very useless association. Now, me too on the phone. I didn't know, sir. Already know her mind was made up, sir. Or no, or Baba yet the bidding of the elephant. Now, onim say, and Tatia ne Kumusono. Oh, say, charges here, I can once a mean, no. And ka a Tatia ma.
Okay, no ma.
A yadia.
So do be a
dear way, what do you credit to coin? We can not send you out. But a son so bonny only a bonnia who done a dear ever Ghana, a branca, oh yeah, a cat kit will become a way am or ye nabo my whim.
A dear no ye.
Shall the idea a speaker? No one was I got to say, your friend is saying, your vacuum be your kind of saying cry
a constitutional crisis.
You're sorry, Obia or no, Obia or no ni certificate on when Siam Rano. Who now, Papa, no, mammy, oh, Papa, no, or Kofodia said take. Bonia or Kodia, a palm on the free school muho because of who?
Papa.
Oh, Papa, Torkonu.
Bonibeno,
your friend Abraham Saki.
Could you Chrono Bay?
Oh, opening. I'm in person.
That be opening. I also to mean soon can say Yano.
Oh, me Yano Hossa.
That be going to make us a papa.
I know no one any but
that be Debbie.
And you want no one
so back as a Kobokro no, and you want to make us a Kobokro.
There be any Korean school Nioma and your Pamono.
Ne papa.
Or no any papa Abraham Saki.
Baby artisan.
Oh, at the same biaso no.
Be artisan.
Bibi wo. Say nya nipa ntimi mmoni sire mu nka. Asema me kan se busuan na me se omo se me boa omo fa me nko court.
Ya court mu suru court. To mo
dia. Yo unim adwuma wo suru broni o. No there be. Me timi kan wo asa no aka tro se court. Masama me tell kwan ne se court no. Wahu. Enti Mami o papa ni di na matro wa no he Abraham Kofi Saa Saki on ti na e friend Saaba
yeah
ni papa din de Abraham Kofi Saa Saki
to do your ba na o de Saaba
nse matro wa oh
yani din be he de
Torkonu no ye ni kunu
no oh ka Torkonu asem ni papa
be ni papa no make sense o papa wu nti wakoko bokro na me apam na free school ama
what is not proven
fine what they say platform media
yeah
eso what ha we be fro because papa no your headmaster no nya moa na your headmaster over them it is school for no and e bo manie school for no your headmaster over them no
and every fro
and omo no e bo amanie so omo bo a me so me ye den me bo
anyway
enti no so papa timi ya tuti ni mo rem abomu kro no nyina me yi na di ya hwe wo school na ma betra studio high 2 for say jai se wo ma wo ho kwan ya ma political party bia ne candy for wo no woni certificate school ya wo ko bi wa ko bi enti jai e ma wo ho kwan e ma ne yusu wa bra ne ho asem sabi asem a e koso yi e ya asem bi ho ya wo now edi asem no woka Abrantie Daniel Ofori asem ya odi petition wa waje atum se wodi oman sika etwa ticket ma ukunu ene wo ba ana wo ka tire Ghana fo se ewo wo krata ye de ma wo se fa bedi dwuma ma oman no mu se wo betimi anya 2 vacations krata na ye trauma wo no ene oman ne mra no de ne mu odu nipa na adwini awuo no se Akufo-Addo atro krata ma wo Akufo-Addo wo so temra Akufo-Addo ya me kan wo no wo ye obi a wabon a wan ko law school nti no oni mu mra but oye lawyer ni mintimi nyi free ni sem so onye lawyer ni ene wo tro krata ma wo se wo betimi akọ 2 legal vacations na so 2 legal vacations no so what true woman po say
in a year, right?
In a year, no. Ubetimi ekra di o man sika akwa kogro medam asia. Adan na wo na wo ya judge ni na wo ko school na wo maame no papa. Boni a wo papa di ekra po ya yi na die no won tra wo na won nwe wo ho awisi aba dwen wo ho say untimi mfa o health insurance enkonko ye registration enkoto aba because o man ne mra ne so chen die parliament mpo a ono se mra no aka say yebetimi de o health insurance akwa registration parliament na yes amra no
you even use birth certificate
me bi na ma birth certificate wo
very well
sabre no na Charlotte say ena ye electoral commissioner obey inheriting mra bi a afarijan na de call mra se bedwam ma mra no ya gitu mu se wo man se ubetimi de health insurance card akọ register It's a health insurance card ne so no. Ya tro say we are citizen and say we are resident. Ya tro wo so. Anya Ghana fo nkwa na health insurance. Omo amunya Ghana fo omo no sabio wa mabetena omamu as residents. Obi anu wo tu kwan. Ofi say me ye transit to Ghana ha. Ana say bi kro ye tourist. Obetima ye health insurance ni bi. Because health insurance no ya anya Ghana fo nkwa keke. Ye ma obi because ye health insurance levy a. Ono so to nsu a, otua levy ni bi. Okodi di restaurant a, otua bi. Oto bibia VAT no NHIL e so National Health Insurance Levy e so enti ya anya ma obi a se bi oye Ghana ni nko a ye ma obi a oye non resident but not citizen. Ena you say on the face of health insurance card no ubetimi di akọ registration se uduru ho na ya tro so say onye Ghanaian na emum uye resident Ghanaian na je say onye citizen enti ye ntimi register meboa enti afajan muhu sade ni nyina sade ni kodu Supreme Court no omo say ye mongu na ye expansion omo a omo di National Health Insurance Card e register ye free register ni ansa na kufa do be man pani 2016 asem na making okay sabre no na the discussion was that who is a citizen and the course trajectory ye kwa kobusa say o birth certificate betimi ama wa ye citizen ana and also so Torkonu we ya ni papa aboka with school fees sa Torkonu we o say o birth certificate entimi there di say we a citizen
a work decision
na sa ni pa we e ya chief justice a e dey na chese me Listowel me nkodina ba bi nka so chief injustice I was making because there's nothing justicial about the decisions.
And offer yet the same birth certificate near the copy passport.
What the copy passport? No, the Ghana. Wait, I didn't wait the
national ID card.
I didn't wait that Osno ebetri.
Ghana card the passport.
The better Osno ba madam.
As we two about Simon Ghana.
A better Osno mami or madam.
I mean how?
And the tie ne commentary ne no running in Nana. I can only see one word.
And only a day.
Frustration.
I mean I frustrated.
Or you're frustrated. Adwene ni nyeye
ba hwe na dim kura na se
utim se adwene no ohia oyarehwefo because me hwe the way our kasane kura to say Parkinson disease ne eyi de ho agi
kan yi kaso we psychologically indisposed
no your friend is schizophrenia
no de
schizo
doctor be improve
e de ne ho agi da bi the way all kono say wanya obi obehwe na adwene mu aboa no a why we are my betima boda.
Oh, so just on taking mental health serious.
Very seriously. Very, very seriously.
Okay.
Because she has not made sense. And I mean, I'm not the type that listens to persons that are not serious in life. But I had to listen to her because I felt, say, maybe she would have a point. Not a scintilla. As the bottom line is, I say,
on what judge you?
Chase.
Ofa case ni ba kwa no judge.
How? Any committee no enquire anymore.
Why your committee na adwuma ma simple.
Enquire committee na nim. Flout it.
Ofa say what disrespect committee no.
No, she should flout it, and that is why I just want to give a proposal. You see, beyond the petitions that have been heeded to by the president through the Council of State back to the committee, as I just said, me no minyame petition, but I want as many Ghanaians as we can to further move with another petition.
No, your petition.
Yes, because her misbehavior today,
even today,
she say omumra. Ade was ye holding in camera.
In camera, just say the committee.
Ade bia e fa say ye chief justice e die no ehun no. Any kwan say process no ebeda bedwam. Okon court say process na ye di yi na die no. Opese ye mfa camera. Na media phone nyina entwa
no be a petition.
No and the court rule ye by a 4-1 decision or 4-1 decision say. Sa sem na wo ka no. Sanka wo yo bi a wonimu mra ko fa ma court ho.
Court and casa.
Sana court kan. Me pa to what kind decision na?
No, but say phrase no say court case wo yo bi a.
E ba jo me no me interpret court no.
No, that kind me asem na kan.
Ah.
No, when you are quoting
I interpret. Me say court no interpret say.
Ususu say say no me interpretation.
Na say ya Boadu no. Court no ehwe asem ni bogu say. Obi a wo ye Chief Justice for outgoing or suspended. I think the best adjective is suspended.
For now, it's suspended.
Me the NS say or outgoing. Looking at her behavior, misbehavior. No? She's going.
And the behavior, no.
Me subai on. Maybe I me kase subai. Eti se nyinsen untimi fancy. Uchu mutan ya bepi. The subai ya na odi dada na dia ye bojo Muhammad dia on se no si potri na ni share jo Muhammad. I was saying, "Can we be to say your Mahama will fear?" Then can Saba and Kawuni. I go for the Yamudinachi Wabon. Oh, the Akufor, I am always when you go as a poto.
And also to Otuaku win the Otifie.
Well, we need the Otifie. Where they say, statement your Kai, met natural baby free.
When I try.
Wait, me imagine Mrs. say a beggar be a sort of Darko. Obi our born law, what law class, how many times not through the exams? I know crown. Pass impo and also nyahwe the way I and just an enemy go asedodo with a man pass bi no nko and no pass it the way I walking can you man me imagine mu anyi obi adwen am dey ka so me nsusuye mu no me hu ni say statement dey otwe o kan yi e gabi sa anya gabi a nipa ono na adwen mu o hapa te say gabi e ya afenyo
minority leader.
Yes. The minute minority leader.
It's unfair to make that statement. Say.
Oh, now dream more. I've told you, say MPP lawyer be any onim law. MPP lawyers only understand knowing the judge to mean knowing the law. Because when him judge, I don't coach your bribe. No what the judgment. They want shortcuts. They don't know the law. They don't know anything about the law. Hwɛ adeɛ baako a maame ni raise ya ebe mo hu sɛ maame na adwene mu hapa baako ne sɛ ɔse second petitioner no ɔno kra friend sɛn akurugu o sɛ ho anwan
so akolgu
posi ni no
because akolgu
tio ɔse akurugu no ye ma judgment wie ye no tio ye ma judgment wie no ono akurugu ne kasa hwɛ say judge my judgment bia obetimi kura ka kire so e kwase a different from say onya my judgment. There's nothing contempt about say judge amana judgment awie
so we wie
na wo tire wa adwen won judgment
and we wie
ana ni behavior
yeah we
wie no opekura betimi aka say judge ye kwase a yes judge no or ye public officer obekwa ko report to police say what did not attempt na ye de wa fa samra kwan ne so enye wono ene oba be judge in her own court
and now see Latin your friend say
your friend no nemo Judas in cosa sua
abo
of answer your friend say
nemo Judas in cosa sua
adia Judas Iscariot omri
untimi nya judge wo wa sem adi enti na ka sa
Solomon wusu
adi a edi akire ne se wo be ye judge wo wa sem mu a wo bebu ntantia
aba
ebi ana wa mi ye yo
yeah no
ye say I will can press conference
no ka say
question say grandpa journalist be busa akra say my journalist be busa question
oni answer
adwene ni mu ha body ne be bre
oni answer
ekunu bi wo kra ni kwa say nka ma ne ba wa bra bu we be ma papa na de na chi a obetu no fo say isaba dia base mesel de
trado
na tutro mienu mani han
trado
be ma nya sani o
me kura nka me boro west na maka say aba papa with the list to attack was the time is the mighty judge ti trado ai
ti you know we kura obetima catch or there one day you wezi but go with your gratuities and everything.
They could have done that.
Just so that at least you are pacified by the fact that it be American crown. And you go say we there, who sabe Chief Justice organ have be mu. O mind no crab.
You see I don't mean Chief Justice bill.
And you go say we. Na me say I committee need to say One Chief Justice, I mean.
You create the committee.
Oh, I mean, I come in first person. Come here, dear. To read the end of your come on, go. I judge dining in wait, hungry lioness. And I said, can this also must say one page. The case versus we a scanner wedding wire, dear pa.
Because they say, I'm watching the
when we answer, say, what do you mind? Saturday go be a hungry lioness. And you know, in summary, no,
that's a room.
She has not made sense. She's been very emotional, and yemfa emotion in color. And to quote her own words, she can make all the noises she wants to make. I just heard her make noise. It's just noise. All I heard was noise. Che, 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 che. There was nothing, not even a scintilla on iota, a molecule of wisdom or sense. And what make it? And you know, let's treat it with the most contempt. Contempt.
Pinch of salt.
But if you don't want to treat it with the contempt it deserves, then if you want to be serious as a country, you should hold her answerable and accountable. For one, impersonating as the Chief Justice. 2, being a judge in her own case. 3, spewing falsehood. 4, interpreting issues in her favor. And all put together for showing an intolerable behavior
live
as a suspended Chief Justice.
On Accra 100.5 FM Citizen Show.
You mentioned something about the argumentum ad mesir. You see, because I don't mean
I know you know.
Augmentum ad misericordiam.
Oh no, so no way.
And no, yeah, the na wo kase. You see, the MC lawyer, you baby.
Ghana ba for you so na no mo.
Oze there appeal to pity.
Appeal to pity, yeah.
Did you say that?
I said appeal. What was she did is appeal to pity.
Appeal to pity.
Oh, here public.
Now what then now your lawyer?
Sympathy.
I don't know who your lawyer, na be your lawyer.
Lawyer ancestor remember far from the fee.
One fail.
Also, I'm 50% discount.
It one fail. Is it because you don't want to?
It's taking me time for now. Me say me other things be answer.
Me who say mumu bi no o se ayire mo na ma musua de because adwini we ya da utirimu ya no onye lawyer ni a na bi ye lawyer yi oh mo na mo bo man yi o because adwini we da utirimu a na wan fa nko school na onye lawyer ni na bi ye lawyer
lord de be
gari ni ma ko ye lawyer wo de wa hwehwe bobo list no samia wuku ye lawyer
ye be law
oh ti mesre mo mo fa me say no me call law school on be fail me
say senti
oh say adadoa perifo say adadoa echidi ohun no oh because nipa oye registrar o ho no
law school
on Ghana law school no ono me kwa ono the first person me accuse you say aden na we qualified to be here because wabon
you no be pass no
or arguments na be see that
over my first message about change
mesra mo nyire mo
Accra FM 100.5
so say everyone pa
so nko ye
because we share adwene da solo team anyhow analytical solo is
local matches
everyone was say senior solo onye lawyer na gari ni mako ye lawyer
almost like
obi a otimi ka say where did you come from to go to college onye lawyer ni
where did you
come from to go to college
I am no from
you say my lord what did you say where did you come from to go to college but mini brofono
that's it but so room
Mati
Nano to mechia wati for mechia senior so nanu ya duwe ni nkomo ama yi is no akoye yi ɛno kyerɛ obekyia no mefa na ayi hɔ baby ɔpam no kɛkyɛ clothing
wonkyia ɛno kyerɛ wo sɛn
wo
ne sa me ho ntɔ
ɔpam adeɛ
wonkyia ne sɛn na ɛno kyerɛ wo
ɔpam adeɛ
wonua ɛne ɛno kyerɛ
so good when it comes to adeɛ ebi na hyɛ mi
ɔn sɛ mewɔ
fɛdeɛ wei na ɔse kɛkyɛ clothing
kɛkyɛ
ɔsɛ maka wo din no
kɛkyɛ clothing
nea meyɛ ni nyinaa no me nso mefrɛfrɛ nsu
sɛ
nsu
me maame ne Georgia
ɔde dress yɛ yi o
hotel de Georgia
wo maame no
me papa kusi a waka baabi DC kusi me papa prɛkopɛ nti me nua ne Georgia ne ne mani nyinaa na me maame ne Georgia
nti ɛno kyerɛ ɔbrɛ atade no bi
ɛyɛ me Listowel
na no Poku
ɛyɛ me Listowel anaasɛ me private
mama ka jo mama
but they are very good
they are very
good
ti ɛno kyerɛ me pa cho ya ma nkra
they are very
excellent
nana no kro
so the green wo menche o ba ndc
jabi ya party na
say ndc kra da mo na machenka
ya party great transformation plan
I don't know why yellow
also it me turn
we are greening you
because we know only say over aka white na ndc ndc that be black
unsa ye green no and say
deep was it is representative
it's onya white or ndc ni
o ya manfo
no to me
senior
me ba no na me tie ma me na me nya ma dwese me tie no but obi na chenchena also Chief Justice Suspended Chief Justice kasa yentie bi but me tie na mere hoye ema Ghana I think say Ora Mama also started crack hip no or say ni brebem esan say ma me no wodi nsem hu too much kokonsa no ya doso
odi kokonsa
we ye nsem hu eye kokonsa ye do akọ committee no o hwe article 1469 bana bibia besi bia right from say obedi petition ko e kopem mra obehia committee be ka asem ni asem ni nyina ye secret in camera to hwe o man penegi e no de bre wo Chief Justice onya fa mre wa akwa ana wo Chief Justice kro ya ulikima Vincent de Kwasefo so kai ana no asem e ko ba bia e man na chekro no akoma an ho ache gidi oso kokot wo asem yimfa ho yem petition wo wose chenchira maame ni nya copy say ye ohun ye no na chese nkomo bia koso between Chief Justice and Vincent Ekonsefo o konso gabude munsisa monsa no kakra munsisa muwe ana kofa Attorney General ono de connection man bia oye connection phone so say yemfa ni pantum ana mode call ya court no e ka say in fact nuru kwa say court no be ka asem no ana o man pani ka say no mama me de yi no copy na mama me no enti no asem na e court no kwa na ka hunya but o mo ka wie ne botu wi ama man pani kra ma no instead of 7 days or man 10 days but na me no man pani nya adwene 7 and 7 you need to so be no say command 7 efiri ho ana maami ya sa ko hye nkofo bi echi bia me nua kwabda bon fede ne nkofo yi o mu free hin gidi da na om kokot se send dio poso sensizo chese ekuru kra o kanidia enye yi wa mo so se chenchira ansem na akoso no eye unconstitutional ni ade ana Supreme Court shiai no mbotugu ya tina chese ya wai kro nanim ke kro nanim da ona chese oba hima Torkonu ya hwehwe ya yeyi eno ntino no se oba hima na simuba no akọ court ode na sem kotu dwa se de ekoso no nyina ya unconstitutional ye declare processes ni nyina se nye ye ntwem na onkoso ankonkodi ne hima de wo hima ti wo hwe ni muso obedi hima ɛna wɔnoa no a wɔyɛ chief justice a wɔleadi the judiciary a wɔno sɛ wɔatenetene no ɔkɔtena anafoɔ the colleagues anim ana ne colleague ka sɛ sɛm a ɔde baa yi ɛyɛ sɛbi ɛhuruharada ɛnkwaseasɛm ti ɔmo nyinaa ɛyi maame firi hɔ maame no saa deɛ no wantumi angrante interview bi akoraa ɔde awerɛhoɔ ɛyɛ fast kɔtena kaa mu a wɔyi firi mu baakasa de ne nyɛ mu no me asɛm wɔ ɛhyɛ aseɛ the first foto a mede ma a Awuraba Torkonu ɛnsɛ hwɛ na wantie these hot-headed young men a woman a ɛyɛ yɛduom na ɔmpo animguaseɛ ɛsiane sɛ baabi adeɛ no nam no ɛbɛfa wo sɛ susuan ɛgye ɛbɛyɛ a resign and negotiate your exit. Go and negotiate your exit. Between some amifu on countless occasions on various platforms. Obviously, damn. Yeah, go for damn club because I've heard people say that is what is your car bro for time you. I'm saying no problem. Only a moment when she slangs. You ever found that? Oh my when she slangs. Ana abrewa yip when mukwana chese. And was say Okoshia the committee. Now the want say the Chief Justice of the land, the Battle Chief Justice of the land, Awuraba Torkonu, Maya Tiasia say a brand new leading judiciary no. A judge for no one to me until no muye. And until on one cassa and the Okoshia committee, yes, court poor man, any. Ɛsi edu te so a ɔmo yɛ ne colleagues ɛwɔ Supreme Court na ɛna deɛ saa nkɔfoɔ no nyɛ nipa papa. That is serious, that is dangerous, that must not be countenanced. The first day wo kɔ committee anymore, the second day wo se ke yenya na fa phone ni wa yi kwada kɔ record na ka ba no ba video editing
ankɔbɛ recording so
ma mo kɔ no kɔ sɛ mo ma body search ye because the trimu no nya
ɔbɛ record.
And you cut down or say na yeah me kwa other lawyers and kwala grobi oniedi other lawyers the kwa no mo phone su kuta omo media me lawyer dey room yes there bi asema wo keyin na yeni ho unkwan wo de bia one sided story being provided by Torkonu.
Committee so ya de omo nkasa.
They be so they are matured, they are so matured, they are behaving within the confines of the law, and that is what is expected of them.
She wants to lead them. Mama me nya after we omo kan bibie.
So she wants to. Obeso mo ase obi abodanfo a wafa wu ga ba fa ontuma ubeja akoko ni
ojiji wa konso hwe
ope jopa no ope se struggle I say hey
na done politics na say
politics MPP NDC nobody is going to do that. You be man law imrana fa ne kwam
because the law is the law.
The law is the law. Mami committee adwuma ko so na se kura se yente ho maachi da be no na ati committee asem ye nyina atie bi nim so obi a ye nadwuma anura ya na hu se flyers ye nuanu ma MPP before share sem Torkonu speaks and I'm say hey
women organizer bekasa
Torkonu speaks a MPP before mo na mo share
so a woman organizer
why is that a woman title and say woman mo je atu sam pa say oba Torkonu Awuraba Torkonu wa dan MPP ni and Torkonu speaks MPP before kwa na share. I'm saying what Torkonu speaks at you need a bit TV. Now me bana me tie ni nkru na ho say a total waste of airtime. Minim so tia
MPP phone tia man.
O metia. Say
yeah so you fa bi.
More than the free
original source.
Some move for feed.
Yeah for feed. But original source.
We tia cover mu nyina. We tia make ni na mamu o gama di ni mo Torkonu atua mamu ni nyina
ti me so maje be sha na maje be se
Awuraba Torkonu say assembly a wo ka akra me yem sheme ne say o say your convention normal practice yi judges to the Supreme Court Chief Justice no on Attorney General no any Ghana Bar Association de shia no mo yiko hey me tifri na no am say agbena say o man ntina enkoso yi wono constitutional provision and article 144 two na catcher and as a catcher your quanya ye justice of the Supreme Court say one judicial council besiano I be a Ghana Association Attorney General I don't know judicial council on. That's a work crying enough grounds.
On team Rasviana.
Mamma no say Naga a baffled body better experience when you found how you for Chief Justice.
Idea constitution say in camera or say there be give me waiver.
Why be up
what's the constitution?
Also say the law is the law. To a case I don't know mammy a dear Nekosui. Share up to date. Obia no what you are pinpointed. Mrebia Mampenia Busu. Neither. So be at me a pinpoint is a committee no or boom rebia
or council of state.
Our council of state. Now say offer so be a boom. In fact, wow court. But we say be a ambush one now coy. A dear Nancy who can't say mammy over Sako court. Shall you what base and you every what should I airtime? I be dim trackers here. Mr. Ofori, people don't know. He's among the wealthiest people in this country. What try what kind of someone? Obia Nipa no say the host Kasim is to follow Kroma. What kind of the Tanzania be? Obia all the major banks in this country or your shareholder or SICMU or your shareholder all the big entities who can once a master I said be only left from right. And dear Mr. Ofori no we are Cynthia, Wobenya wonder, Mr. Ofori raised 21 issues of misbehavior.
Justice.
21 issues and 4 issues of incompetence. What's the end to Western Saudi? Isaba, Iraba, Torkonu. More judge for them to movies and money for Yanis or Betty Homam.
No fire.
Yabaha, come on, Dinatre, who to say, Dad, yeah, okay, I didn't want her, no, can't your petrol, but you take it, your fun, sir, it's as a Mrana City, your mamma, now, would ye? Yes, subject to the same Mranimoa. What be John, one of ya, oh, come and I say, and I'm gone, that's a gun, I'm running at the end of one of my
that's all be a mre.
I can't
see.
No,
but judge be
so I dear mammy, you know what it
is so serious.
It was some quack to me.
No, I'm a press.
Nobody, you.
Say, you didn't ask my call.
Assembly,
my press.
Assembly, anyway, contemptuous.
Who qualified by now second national security in or say somebody must go and file the attorney general or the committee must take the steps or may file contempt application. Near farmer mean.
This is a whole misdemeanor, misbehavior.
Wasana Wapa or person lead you to the path of destruction. But I can tell and say, look, the word on the street is yet the oil who be the year been home. What to me at we are saying, who now says why you do judicial for 38 years, and to me the one day the catcher has a birth certificate and just all you Ghana. That day I'm losing interest in law school.
Until when you free.
That dear friend, so to me, you are trying bench for 38 years. I a lawyer 38 years there. That's what to me I can't or help me no say birth certificate and yeah improve citizenship. Oh, cost school na kwede. Why we had better woman.
So loving in Yadri.
You can
go school about better the
wrong. Your Chief Justice is telling you, it's a birth certificate, you know. And just
Onumpa for 38 years. That's all over for one day.
Yeah, Musala said, or go and passport, and you're on the what's the birth
certificate? Then you know how some of the year. Just a minute get any.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a war. No, too.
But that hasn't been reversed.
It has not been reversed.
I think we must reverse that. I think it must be.
What you say?
Sir Judge, Mpacho, educate me on this. Sir Judge, MBK set ruling now. It becomes law.
Yes.
We are then reversing.
Also, conditional review.
It must be reviewed. It must be reviewed. Over. But so my same person make judicial review.
Was the bit me also. But say you know, you're new Chief Justice.
Acting Chief Justice.
Yes, you're new Chief Justice or acting. You know, you better share choir, you better fast. I mean, there have been so many wrongs in the last 8 years. I was here corrected.
30 seconds now.
Oh no, on your intervention.
Into mess say, Mumi,
no, but this very one I want to take it up.
Then
birth certificate, you know, SSS.
I was say good governance. Your secretary net way. I was say,
oh, you're taking up. You're taking up.
Send sponsor citizens.
Na yani akrabetwa kunya dem god dem amia ye enchirema fan chair da obeka say abreso na se bia nyansafo ni kruma
so ye wie ya beka ho asem ese ye defense
but your friend is saying private member bill be dey beko parliament who judges the judge
very important
who judges the
judge yeah
there should be some committee somewhere.
Yes. The general legal council does not really help. Because the judges are there being judges in their own courts or cases.
And because who judges those who judge the judge.
Yeah.
Torkonu die. Na me die me yan say. Ene o kasa o di ntroto. Committee members so. Ana me di many two members nanim. Poaman Esiedu Domlevo ene sojani ba ene your friend say. Professor Gisa. Now say a dear Bonipa no Modia Yuntia. Walk up with Jina Bontia would do a more consa. To would you among more and you pay Mecasano? Would your own first ever to been to her?
A good one, master.
What good one, master, papa. In fact, and the simple to be a Wobiano, a quack.
I say,
Wasano. Now, me don't feel come away, we are.
Obekasema resign.
But the one who say enkwadana to efutu bone or can be that is the government of the issue. Or say enkofo say adena men resign. But there is a judicial ruling, there is a judgment and that's a ruling now. A just say nya start process be say unya a resigner obe lusu entitlement na nisika kra. So that is where the issue is.
Entitlement.
Afin na near ban won say hey Capre abra die starting no film that time no ana ne yenu bi e2 fo say obey
negotiate your exit
ye ne omampani ye nyina ye mfa anu ntumi so masa oso wo kwa adwobre wo
ye menim se ma be say ne ma menko
masa no tie fa che me na me nya me kakra nko afa ma mi ka che se wo jaye nya yi enu wadwuma no be na sa wo be we no ka se bia yempa cho ni wachi a be ka no boko ne ne ye hu de be ye na wasa the antagonism abem abedi ntro
we are secretary ampa
anya
we yigu ho pa
anya hwa na wasa kwa kotu socialist be honam se mami sa quotation we MB for a committee ne ta kotu pa ma me ka jam honam mo sa ade we free MB before
that. Not just my many MPP there na
fully
and I go to MPP near man.
It's
MPP before the trouble.
Professor Poku na ta kotu sanimo a German pastor your friend Martin Nimuli.
Okay.
Nimuli, yeah.
On the Friday came for the socialists.
Namwale
crowd have been so called Brazil. Friday came for the socialists. And I did not speak out because I was also a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists. Yes. And I did not speak out for the Jews. And I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me. And there was no one left to speak. For it to surface in your write-up, article, speech, presentation. Now, me for serious.
We are socialist quote.
Mami ababe sadie we amowie ya wasaji nsu anu maguso. Wa amobi am
bisa question. Questions will be sound.
But I want to admonish Mr. Ofori, Akogo, any the other petitioners or say ya drag mammy before court.
Wait, misdemeanor.
No. Wait for defamation.
Oh, what defamation? What woman must say? I don't make us say. And go for him who the petitioners are.
But the above one thing.
They ought not to have been known.
Mammy never what do Mr. Ofori Trano. What was that's funny about 14 minutes of Mr. Ofori. Such a noble man.
This will be a hunia petition here.
And wo jada yakayaka die.
Be a
wo jada die ope. Mr. Ofori, opposition no ye you fro on the babedi ana.
David. Ompe.
What do say die modi ya no court na nye or a stakeholder in this country. You cannot be a stakeholder in Ghana more than Mr. Fori or be your investment. Talk on an investment said, oh my. Young Kotia to say judicious a Mawa year vacation, one Ukunoni Obiani Tumiko. Yeah, can say official trips. You are not supposed to travel with your husband or any family member.
Official trips.
Official trips?
That was all can be said for security reasons. She can't go alone.
Alone with you. And not today you say, oh, qua. One officer of the state, bodyguard, and a bodyguard, and me, the passport him, nil. This about Kukra Momuda.
Ofarengo.
Nanya, the other couldn't in Makui. And the mammy, or the bodyguard, number didn't call trips, and Kavisa and Momubi. And you pay him, Nibi. That is what we are talking about. There is an allegation, so by you know, Womaba Benya contract of 400 and something thousand. Omuna, your friends say, captains, and yeah, judicial launch, Omuna, yeah. So now when your Chief Justice Mano, if it is true, Combina sa contract.
And that is clear case of conflict of interest.
What is here? I said, we now buy him, and can initial nine of Nanko for claims are you. 1 million was it. Your coaching Musolo. Utu kwani bi sika bi balance no enyam beduru ye
na amana for balance
I don't know mu ka ya petitioner akwa enti we and ensem oba better press conferences as no press conference abeka ye no o se wo de committee na ere ase na de ko yiwa no ye ne abeka che ye fanya de
ye committee members
ye invite committee na wo de wo ye mo nsem ho a ye ne tie krom no ye fa be ye de be pesa me tie ase de oba ye nei
opasi TV.
I see.
Like me oye na na say Ghana mon kama sem mame.
Na be say kama sem mama efutu ne de ma say. Ye di akoda jesu na ka twen ho.
Na na akoda no.
Ye akoda jesu ye swa no. Ye akoda jesu.
Fashion sa.
Oh, na ki ya hwe ne ka ka. Wo so wo ntie wo betie sa ngofo we.
Dokunu so odin.
Ana ne bebia bedui. Sisi a wa ja tum se bebia dui. Wo ye omu firi mu a osika bebo.
Yeah.
De o mu say adui se yen ko pa John Mahama cho.
Say wo de oyi ni kura na entitlement.
Sisi ano ye hu se Torkonu. Ade obeka ye ni nyina asem na wie ye ne se.
Ne yes gracia no.
Yes gracia no. Hwe osro.
Ya wo de yes John Mahama.
Dear John.
Ayo on fama.
David.
Listowel say.
Ya enti ase ma no.
Kure nyame animu.
What just your
me ma na hwe.
Say Basadia. Good governance, you move better.
Wasum 30. Oh, Listowel wasum 38 years.
No, 38 years no.
Because
the was some of the man said the ura atuguba. And say ura era no more or more we banum ni or more movie no. Or movie ni fell so. Oh, and yet guarantee. The way we the tantan time.
But when we the tantan, I won't chem half man.
At least more money be.
Yeah, man half
money
quarter on. Anything, yeah,
quarter of half is how much? 1/8.
1/8. Yeah, farmer, sir. Yes, half a loaf is better than none.
Yeah.
Yes, no. Because yes, sir. No, a dear pa, Jadio Bay, would ye share with dear a by woman dear Yemfa.
Me or your band to meet me as a Yansen.
Yes, but I'm that to me. The dear quay dear. Tell can now quack, yes, you are sexist.
Mean to make us a Yansen.
I dare not see.
Why is it that Bema Semba Yanka?
Of a Bema or buy different. So,
Obani, you can't you refer to Oba to say Bia, Professor Jinana Pokwaji.
Also different.
It is a work of Fabi before Fra enter Saba. Then it means we are.
Martin, I say I'm buying some very respond.
The way.
Yeah. Torkonu.
It's not necessary. A buying can anuntum. They should allow the committee to work.
I believe so.
They should not respond anything.
But there are certain issues.
Mama man, MPP, NDC, and say government should not respond on anything.
Because
we have a committee in place. They should allow the committee. You see, the moment government comes in, MPP, NDC, ni say matter.
My man was set to Trump. I'm
not responding for what? Yeah, but John Mahama. Please, they should allow. Very well, but the point is that they should allow the committee to work. And yes, undermine the power of the committee. We have a committee.
But I think I talk on the last sheet.
What by an MPP NDC now say?
But the last sheet, right? Because I mean, it was a concluding remarks. No, I think go resign. Ko resign ne.
Say na me so me tea some
But
people.
after a year asutre say ye gaka bi ma no. Na ye ntumi nye entitlement no. When in someone ɔkɔ ne ɔnfa mmɔ ne kotodwom sɛ wone aban ɛɛdi asɛm a yɛ adwene ho mmiɛnsa so ɔte ase because wankasa wo su ne wo ban ne nneɔma a wokyerɛ time a na wo leadi na ɛnyɛ fɛ hwɛ the last days deɛ ɔma afɛnwo ɛma woyɛyɛ 12 o'clock yɛ fale 3 o'clock ne yɛka asɛm na judgment aba what is this where there is no crisis also can't you see there is a constitutional crisis that time that crisis will grow
no crisis
mami tia on one create constitutional crisis or that dream no catch
Justice Jewu, a known MPP judge contested with voter region
no,
as parliamentary candidate Tadia Soria where lawyer Gau Emma speaker of parliament say
Gau
Mira and Amara Mr. Papa we are tired of Shekra MPP atade was Uncle Mani a friend called from friends recuse and on recuse no kakra was it there be ye komwa e be a CP before just
she's
Eti professor on why the next MPP women organizer or person took Jim for the over to kit
no before say you are 100 year enye fe na efiti extra kono I expect the Ghana Bar Association and meditation ya boafo say no kasa lawyer for ya omundi odipem we a clear case of say wabegu no anim ase me expect say the Ghana Bar Association ebe je omo license omo de ma no esan say wagu no anim ase na a lawyer for ne wokro mu ombe say obuba be defend this atantade efiti extra de ko e no ombe hye wanika
Resi beti banya lawyer accessory e wo phone so and any of the major lawyers in the country, I want to have almost some expert advice on the ruling. Okay, I feel that we higher craft and penny for Ben Waha, Igusudin Kumo, Poku Listowel, of course, you are the Nanusis here, a Solomon Owusu movement for change and Chomba political party. Over, Nkomonwa and Ikremu.
Minya Solo Casano. No, I really bad with him. See, aside from any amount of money, I want to say, or your quotations, we say there are behind her, justices of the Supreme Court.
Sympathetic position, child.
It's trying to mean that. About a debo or no touch way. The bebo bawa. What I say? Anaba. Oh. Ayana Nipare Fino. So, Oshe judiciary in Mississippi. Does she have anyone that is like her? Very disrespectful. Very intolerant and intolerable.
Yes.
Very rude, arrogant.
So rude. So
rude. Like her. Is she able to tell who is like her?
No, so rude. So rude.
At the bench today. Is she able to tell? Oh. You see, Mameno. Like I've said, Obi here, say ye bema adwimu yare ayarehwe ehia no em say ade no wana anye ho
ma te say live e crab abanzo respond mo be fa dia de ehwe de ko
me pacho if mama na you see government respond but I'm surprised they are
I was also of the view say
me pacho you take your bind there no why
penny force the jawa na the aswa no say some of these things no
a pattern and respond there na bind
there be o man slide there abind there e Ghana for abind nya NDC for na e omo
wa beto ni o matum
o man all can it was say
ayi na in fact why
ye nya a perspective nationalistic
of course
character ujai we imane kwa eno no be form an opinion
nti ba bia I think me nim ba ya adwene ye say what you just said. As Rabbi Nesuno party.
Yeah.
Send this in a response different.
No, where about your
We a government for all of us.
Your mind in idea. And mind you say, say ujai asem to wa. Na wa money muaya. Ebe say your silence would have meant consented to. Dear. Obeka any.
Na say and also not just me no so the committee na dwuma you.
Abi say Mami way is leading committee no the original baby. What you say? The committee in the baby jina bedwam no mo sha say omo so ye public discourse there. Then now it is a committee no. Has been tempted to make public what ought not to be public.
Exactly.
The committee in there omo nyina baby omo jina. Nemum abai wo asudie da ne so say Oman no se se de asha monsa
e di jawari
de aso enti den na mo ka fa ho ama omanfo ati
propaganda
san se maame no the propaganda ne nyoma a ode agu badwam ne nsem a enimu nyina no waka
ni nyina
ana waye several accusations ati aban
anu asio
accusations na o ye no oh na me ka bibi se ete se de ye de makọ court na mabejina public say court na yedi makọ.
Why would I do so?
Nyansanim abababo bi ani.
That will be the basis for me to play such a call. I have never spoken to the Chief Justice in my life. Second, no government official has played such a call. If individuals in their private capacities, in their private lives believe that they have a relationship with her and want to call on her to act to one or the other, it is a personal decision that she would have to take. But government or the president cannot force her or even suggest remotely that she should resign. So that must be placed on record. To be fair to her, I don't think that she said that any government official has asked her to do so. So we must also correct the records as they stand. Yes. Yes.
The first time the Chief Justice used her own response, the second time she chose to go the presser and level serious accusations against the government. Do you suspect that the Chief Justice has a material motive to paint this government black?
Well, I cannot ascribe any motive to the Chief Justice except to express regret over an act that may appear to violate the Constitution. But I don't think it would be fair to ascribe any motive. As I said, she has every right to adopt any measure she believes will aid her make her case, except that we all know that it is better to do so using laid down processes. Beyond that, I don't think that anybody can ascribe any ill motives to her. We have a responsibility to correct any misimpression created about how the president has acted. That is the responsibility that I am discharging today. That is all that there is today. Indeed, if there had been no references to murdered judges and the venue, which is a state facility, or some political vendetta or agenda, I will not be addressing you. If it had been purely based on sentiments about the outcome of some court cases, or even the process that the committee is using, we would have no locus to wade into the matter. If the committee is minded and they have a way to engage the public, so be it. But I have only addressed you for the sole purpose of correcting what is a false impression that there's some political agenda at play, or that the venue has been chosen for purposes of intimidation and as a way of using some dastardly occurrence in the past as a psychological tool to wear anybody down. That is what we decry. We don't think that it has any place in this discourse. It is most unfair, most unjustified, most unwarranted. And that is the reason why I have been compelled to speak to you to clarify that matter. Thank you all for coming.
dwene hwɛ sɛ adan na saa nipa wei tumi yɛ judge koraa wɔ Ghana ha in the first place na sɛ nka mpɛ sɛ yɛ ɔde akɔ akɔduru pɛmpɛnso a afei no waba bɛyɛ chief justice because sɛ wohwɛ nneɔma a ɛkɔ so wɔ judiciary hɔ especially at the Supreme Court a ɛduru baabi ɔmo ankasa ho nipa ɛyɛ kandapa aba abɔnten bɛka sɛ the way a moyɛ nneɔma yi mo ahwɛ a mobɛma abogyabu mu abadako sane sɛ moyɛ ama no bɛyɛ sɛ asɛ MPP foɔ na ɛhyɛ mo akyi sɛ monyɛ wei ɔho Ghana hanom na yɛn time fa nsɛm ɛnyɛ asɛm ɔho yɛmfa asɛm onyɛ asɛm sɛ yɛmpɛ sɛ yɛakɔyɛ anuanom ɔho nti Torkonu yi me ne wo kasa yi yɛbɛkɔ mu a na bi a me ɔfaase bi anaasɛ me ba bi akɔwura busuanim ɛna no mete ha yi a meka ma asɛm bi ɛna me ɔfaase bi afrɛ me papa no koraa no ne ba yɛ me girlfriend no me ɔfaase a me te radio so a m'ani abre
ɔfa me mpɛsa ɔpɛsɛ ɔkyerɛ sɛ wosɛm connection
kama asɛm no na I texted me say ɔfa is urgent please let's talk
wokasa asɛm hia bi
asɛm bi a meka asɛm no hia me paa o afei mepɔn na me friend a so ɔfa wei deɛ wasɛm awie o na papa no koraa no ne ba yɛ me girlfriend o ɛna m sɛ ɛhɔ na wode aduro enti sɛsei no kyɛ sɛ ɔmɔ ware a menkɔ bi no no na me wɔfa se ware na magu aware yi
wɔfa se ɛware obi sɛ Gabi ɔkyerɛ dako ba bɛhu ne sɛ
ɛhɔ no mɛyi abusua asɛm afirim na mɛyi politics mɛkyɛm sɛ ne kyɛ sɛ nyame mpɛ ngu mom kyɛ sɛ Gabi bɛyɛ me makonta
anaasɛ Torkonu
yi bɛyɛ me makonta ɛne sɛ mewɔ faase no wahwehwɛ krɔmfoɔ abusuam na ɔwɔkɔ
ɔnyɛ krɔmfoɔ ayɛ a ɔka no wakyerɛ no wawia
nti Gabi yɛ PDS na woni Ghana
baamea na yɛ PDS
anaya na
you see one thing about Gabi ni say mo share that one ni say that guy is so smart say he does not commit
because this madness
paperwork and no you see
because this thief
what tie there na yi kafa no wa che jako one Ameri
but also then
was one no na nia bra ya ti committee na Gabi swati another committee on na Akufodo pa mo one Gabi ayi bi o what committee so mo go di Ameri edwa no edwuma ni ho no masa so at different one headed by Gabi na Gabi no instruct
that's what why
I don't know what change Jacob say until one in your capacity as who
anyways
and me you watch Jacob no say as a fatano
I me patch her sound in my Facebook they are still complaining patch
you know I think say Torkonu asem na abeto dwa no I wish say nka enye say bia nipa etie ya we should treat it with the most contempt it deserves. But if we want to be serious as a country, like I've proposed, itemize BBBA a crime and I say be a misdemeanor and I say be a intolerable behavior. You bet me a so they are punishing na kayen shishim. San say like I've repeated. Enyi sɛ sebi obi a ɔno na asɛm ɛwɔ ahemfie a yɛreka no ɔno bɛgyina badwam sɛ asɛm a yɛreka no ahemfie no me ma adwene nie and you must as well boycott going there and go wie ne nko ka so sɛ isan sɛ misusu sɛ ntankyia bɛbɛ nti no me boycott my attendance mede eko eye committee n'anim no also I've always described a very group in Ghana say are very lawless lawyers. No, Akufo-Addo say a lawless lawyer. I mean every MPP lawyer is a lawless lawyer, but Mami Torkonu was show a very high engross a level of lawlessness by way of speaking to the public what should be in camera. I think it's an indictment to not just her person but
very bad.
the state.
Violating constitution.
And, you know, I think before a matter a hardware, then show how we can delve into it and deal with them. Say and can no make me free make me just a small teaser be.
Na yanko breaking
about adwuma bi a nyame ya aduma menim da mo be ma me na ka meba we are discussing details cocoa board adwuma no
Friday
da ben
Friday
entiere mo nye flyer
kwame be
na mo ma atiefo nyina hu se nyame ya aduma Friday
there no be one before the main discussion
na yen delve into cocoa board
ensem ho
pa
enye the Friday
amanfo ahyeda committee apam ho awie o man sika twitwiridie in excess of 200
cocoa ball.
Yes.
All na boy you do
36 to 66 million dollars.
Yes, it is dollars.
$1 million. And it's still counting. Under the guise of cocoa rehabilitation project.
See, you paid in and
and you know, now say me call cocoa foam, the cocoa foam ako 13.
Okay.
Yeah. The previous cocoa board no. A high contractor say onkoye adwuma. Adwuma na omo high ni say onkoye no. Wanye adwuma no enso wa disika no. Aban we baaye no instead say oye hwehwemu no oyi sa contractor ni si nchen no. Minua Randiabe. Minua pa Randiabe. Osade adwuma no asa akoma sa company no. Who say ye be to aba no. Cocoa farmers no me no na na eba efia. A omo si etwa mu cocoa agu na ye nnua. Kwesi ade ye twa mu because 13 different farms in central region. And timide ayi ni nyina videos ni nyina ma. Na me ya adoma efiada no etiefo nyaso na omuntie de ekoso e wo cocoa board.
So that's a teaser.
De ntia na epoku namu a ne buafu a wo kasa anya sese bi papa ngoma so manum de ntia ni yem me mpese bibi bia beba e be good o ma manimu ase because nipa no ba ko no ade man wanye de na chese de ode man fufu obetima ye nti anu ya ade a ehu hia me papa nti na me ya adum efiada mpacho me nu ha be time me
yes she time no
and we won't come at you for muna make a date say you free be make a date
if you are there 30 minutes 3:30 to 4
3:30 to 4 asempe tia nti
on 30 minutes so
mehwe asempe tia because ma konfo bebre mu
efo no ba ku bia 5 minutes class wa
konfo mako and still counting
e betima ye
bia nyame adma china
e betima ye from 3:30 to
e china be ko eastern region
4:15
meko o papa side ho
achim
ba bia koko fo ni wono nim se hono meko no mo fa nya galamsey dia
she said it me because me Osuno in the heart of the town Ankasa you took a heart like you see that you come you
very orokodo
it is a Joe Force company no afari nek ne mad no mo ye aduma nyame ye aduma efiada
okay
me pese Ghana fo be kom me ma Ghana fo ahu oni ni dwiri mo de adi na onkofo a omo aye omo adwen se omo ehyehyɛ omo achi se ko kan esan we nkofo ehye omo achi no
sa na zangofo no
awde jai se duru ho a efiada na ye be bom ama Ghana fo nyina ti
ye matie fo hu se
minua ba ku kumase ye friend Frankie Taylor
okay
na ono duru awia na obo African Express e wo Fox FM o se time kuchu ne fi
time kuchu
ola so show
Frankie Taylor show
ola so Fox wow
the longest serving friend is a radio presenter
wow
ever to have existed in Ghana.
Frankie Taylor
yeah, he's more than 25 years
more than 25 years
and still counting. I mean he's a very loyal servant and a master.
I think he's the longest on Fox.
Yes, he's the longest. He's the longest
Minister
staff. Of fact, he's still there.
Wow.
I say, people know him for still.
Shorty.
I don't know, say young girls never. Hey, sorry, but on a very, very loyal, and I mean that trait is something that I need to learn.
Yeah.
Independent means sign,
and
I'm very proud of him.
And
there is another man called Ifo. He's still there.
Oh no.
And they are there.
Wow.
Yeah, there. Do baby, I know more share. No more text me. No more stress.
Wow.
I greet them all.
Solo.
I can't.
The boys in your court too.
I cannot. I talk on the why and why. Say, on one no think I Ghana Mran crying city dressy. Na on unquire man live coverage. I brought constitution on no dear humano. I catch a man live coverage. Or the court. Say I'm one new umumranos.
Very lawless.
Also, you cry. Or cockota on one focus or by ye. Ye dream mumras or by a little bit chow madapa. And almost what your mother the fool. A statement in. Tell me the call a judge for some of the kind of cramamino and I'm a canny beer. Say, see, I cried you no, I stand there, dear, say, I didn't know near target too. Now, judges at the High Court, Appeals Court, and commissioners of independent state institutions. Nobody no go electoral commission di. Onti okroma say MB before the case. Enya ono Torkonu na target emom. Jane Mensa ne your friend say. Boss mamu na target. Ene as obi enu mami ana okobo electoral commission edin wo the press conference mu.
As omu nyina ye meeting.
O say ahihia adwuma no. We settings to abegja atumti. Say bia wono free wona say Jane Mensa adwuma fon tanta o ye no ye kwa ko yina free ho a. Wase manka nche. Oh efidi o ba besu. Anu tiro se Ghana fo mo ne bere mo mo de da ho. Esan say ade obe so needless. Ade o my pan ye ni atia yakoto aba wi o ka ko no for akra yintimi declare MP na electoral commission la sotio salary. Omo ankasa be adoma akase we de ya pagya yensa no. Omo ti ho.
Say no dey yourself for 4 years so many.
No oti ho. Na o twen. To omo nyina na eboa o ma me yedum. Isia wo sua meet the press. O di on sua. Na kakra fa na hono o be hu se we free judge mu. We free dodo ka bia ba ba ko ka bia. Anya so sad. Now asem me so da airport wo. One send ra almost say your friend is saying o ma pam nkofo bi wo Bank of Ghana.
100 or so. Ana
it's about 97 to 100. Yes. So I'm pam you know for half from half anamboa. Airport wo answer no ru akufo do ba be free ho. Directors me nsem bi o se clear wo mo da so ho. Airport. Na ba we minim say ye hu o. Say ye suro. Ayidie ye mo den papa. Ah, I don't go let me take for the so am sorry.
Be we the simple.
Be die to tiasi. A pen inside. Say wo trogu mu en. Enye no go for the bomb mo emodi on. Wo mo bon. What will they
grounds in the same scene you
our grounds is so mama airport na ngasa gu. Wa kesra ngasa kra wo se en clear o. Airport no. But I'm going to know their affairs as a better of financial position. And to be billion noir, ya to a baby here or my appointment as a almost some fidiama a bang. Says uncle for no go show no money or more brassier, our brassier, boy be or yes kit or some brassier. And into no almost somewhere within 2 years a mobile after 2 years no more started deep bonnet. Sata win and ye.
Go trem for 2 years.
What I say?
Win and ye. Ugrofo so go fie.
Ugrofo so go fie. Ana yes o mu go fie o. Enye sanka how net and a Bank of Ghana. Oma boka only last year 9.49 billion.
2022 60.8
billion. Now last year the come the bank crash one say baumia sa gold for oil or coffer buy scam chrono that tanta the force ano and unquabo manica 1.82 billion. Take a chroma yam very go. Yes, ye be. Someone poor brother.
Here is stubborn proud.
Oh, here is stubborn proud. And no, one no, I walk across 200. Bank of Ghana personal cost. And when you pay here, do my trionka as of today, a 2.9 billion. A kind of bomb every year. 2.9 billion. But now, Chroma review.
Bank of Ghana.
The chair work is a
2.9 billion cedis. 36 I know, and as I say.
And then Ghana Sika 2
trillion. Bank of Ghana.
Bank of Ghana 2.9 billion personal cost. As of the last count, we see how many 2,508 more.
Let's have we equity presidential machinery.
Yes, I'm like meanwhile, Sandy Patrick and in your brain, you know, or net equity position a negative 61 billion.
29
Now, what can Pegum say?
29 trillion.
What I say?
29 trillion.
And what catch on? That is your current year, you pay mom. I know, Master, I shall be baby. Master Ramo, we know I am a dear, Mother Brea, a claim because Cocram, that year you cries.
But talk about Bank of Ghana. Now, me share Adibi 2012 profit, 2013 profit, 2014.
Yeah, can you
after 2018,
I can't go
loss.
And you did you know Moody?
Loss.
Loss
of 1.8 billion.
Yes.
Loss of 3.1 billion in 2019.
Yes.
Loss of 6.1 billion in 2020. Loss of 4.6 billion in 2021. Loss of 7.2 billion in 2022. Loss of 60.8 billion in 2023.
Omo mokase 2024 ye kwa print iska. Eno ngwa ye say 1 billion ye de print Ghana iska. Abra only 2023 ye say only 690 million. Ye kwa 2024 about 20 no. Na jump ko 1 billion. San nyoma when you say hwhwem ne ye sok kwabra ne pachi. Cause omo wiya ye
billion. We na me kaisa ato force ma ye kwa.
Omo wiya
na. Oyi akwa Jimmy Foi. Ebe di ya tell say ye hooligans. Okay.
Aye.
Addison.
One way
of all the Addison family members, him say on the most.
What's up, papa. And it just all come. Also, come na obi a wati akemu bi an omuyino. Na wo move free on mesra wo munye we nya embellishment. National Scholarship, another scholarship secretariat, another bomb.
I didn't see.
Sanya kwana wo free okwo wo si bia se ho no. Ekapa ne connection. Yeah, the chroma time say business any to me bia yan sisa o man sika ngodi.
Solo. Aya obiti baby a obeka so tu da ko kasa dodo. But nyese ya kasa o. Yem pese mahama be fail say no for kind. Hwe me be kan say omo wura ho no. President Mahama ma si ubia enye auditing ni akohu ye no
mon kan mo fani nyina
na mo nya nyina na mfa ko obi anya press conference in Ghana for
ebuade yame ka you
can anya press conference in Ghana for say we na me koto ye
eka
oh
ya dia di Togo for kraka Togo haya kraka hey and Jamaica dia say o makoburu kegu ko fund the part one e be kro bedanka scholarship.
You loan me, you pay me.
Yeah, pay me, you my friend.
Pay me my money.
You go and watch you bringing money here. I go for the boy food brutal.
So we have bonded to see me on there.
Yeah.
I'm the part 2 Abajiska.
Part 2 Abajiska.
Ajip Black Rasta.
Akwana we are say all multi parliament Shambra mai. What are we talking about? How do you know?
No MPP for in there. Omo we scanning in ano.
Omo go parliament on.
Parliament.
Anyway.
They began in 2020.
But I thought that man was a cool man.
Obi to say John Kuma. The only reason why he had to run to parliament is because not we really
any IPO no say no.
Nip. ɔkɔgye yɛ constituency fo ni nyinaa
ID
card
yeah
na ɔde aba na ɔno abɛgye loan no in their names
mo na wo Canada
ɛnyɛ loan kura grant
yeah mo grant on ma
in their names o enti constituency no wo a wabɛgye wo card no owie yɛ no
to bɛgye na pɛ kakra ma
ɔde kakra ma wo ma wo hu sɛ wagye sika
no odi no
wo hyia na no aka kyerɛ sɛ aban gu so
aban yɛ adwuma
enti sika na yɛde agrante nip no na ɔno akɔgye ID cards
wa grant no ho
na ɔno de agrante ɔno ne ho na ɔde mudin ahyɛ system nim
ɔde efun ni fo nti yɛ
efunu bɛ di fo this year efunu bɛ di fo sa se mu no ka kyerɛ
efun bɛ di fo
da bi efunu di fo
efun di fo ya
da bi efunu di fo eti we no na me se wo kɔ kɔhwɛ ade a ɔsɛ ya sorry dan ɔbaa no de yere no sika
ɔsɔfo
honest ye mem de menyi ni
so mo sɔfo gege okruwa
ɔsɔfo de sɛ
reverend minister
mo da mo ntiche
sɛ reverend ministers na nyɛ nyina ne free nyame
ɛnyɛ reverend minister ba ko ni akɔbɔ ya sɔre pɛchi wɔ yi special prosecutor akɔsɔre pɛ amisa da ɛnyɛ no ɛno nkɔfa ɔnyɛ reverend
amachi no
amisa da ɔmachi no
ɔmafa no
500 million a year scan
at bank enya chire o say minimum capital requirement 400
million to at bank
national service free
at bank
to bank 540
what you na mo ye press conference say ala ne apam go for Bank of Ghana kasika ya mo fai mo le tete bank sa go enya ma o ehemo
me twa me ma buy way up to 1 year had yes
that be more 1 year more 7 months
then in terms of say you bet you be atuma me hwa de because say eye fair say na press briefing na we SP abo bidin na say press briefing na say abo bidin
wontimi okoba
de na abo bidin ya person mo chi obi tum obi ediga na skate ni tum
na Ghana okoba ya ko sisai okoyi okoba ya
won't be case no say wete say
kaza bo person mo ya no ya mbaswe dabi mbaswe o sam kofo edi sika no ba ne edi omani ana anu ya Iran ne yi Israel ya ka say obuba be close straight of Hormuz abi before hola muso bi ba bone for pa no mu nyina ne age okroma executives no ade ya oil prices be kosoro ama ho kiraba na oye sadi wo ya eye I don't know media dia be ka che Ghana fo nyina ne se mo ni nda on na mo moja no mo fa jantua wo mo se take decision no to no mo nko take decision be bo man o man ye chichire eye se o man one day etia na obi di pepe se free Afghanistan ba so wato na ye nyina ye nkoa o machi akonfu ma ko to heavy na ho na mo se enye nyesa I can't think for
Abdul Wahab Hanan ana owo
na
bafa stock yesi ya fano
o ma fano
NIB ana
yoko
o ma fano ho no da bi ba te hona wuntumi ko ba ye na ma wo te wo so pie na da wuntumi pie no wo ye no so yare and 5 hours I don't start to ujira na so
that is oba for national chairman
we ba for national chairman
MPP
no ya men kai
na MPP papa bene o
and also Martin Institute
gentlemen